and doing something hopefully that will really help the constituency and make it more efficient through all the methods that that were presented earlier in this conference and at the table. So we feel it'll be a valuable thing. We're hoping to do something good, and I believe this is one of the ways that we can do that. And maybe if Andrew Chase, you want to, or anyone else, whomever.
Yes, absolutely. So the system is initially built right now to securely store information about the farmers in the constituency. The main elements of data that we'll collect are biographic data, which are names, dates of birth, family members, where they live, the types of crops that they're engaged in growing, the size of their farm. That general information, then biometric data as well. The biometric data is the identity piece that goes along with their name and date of birth. We'll acquire fingerprints and face images so that we can subsequently identify them biometrically, and we'll know that we're dealing with the same farmer every time. Further, we'll know that they are supposed to be a participant in whatever the program CDF is providing to them at the time, so it can reduce fraud, eliminate unwanted transactions, and massively increase efficiency. The overall goal is the ability to track benefit from start to end, and that will allow the constituency to better understand the impact that the programs that it runs to help the constituency achieves. So the application is a mobile app based. Agents are trained to use the app to go out in the field, put the information into the app, and capture the biometric data with the mobile app. All of that data is sent to the back-end server and it's stored securely there, and that's how it works.
Yes. Well, today's function, we are here to launch the Mkulima Digital, which is a pilot program that we are undertaking as a soy constituency through our CDF office. This is a system that has been developed by our friends who have partnered with Pit Stops, which is a local Kenyan company, and they are from the US. This will help us in order to collect data for all our farmers in soy constituency. It is not a system that is only solely for soy constituency. Any other person who may develop interest is welcome to come on board. We are hoping the county government of Uasin Gishu, which is represented here by the Minister of Agriculture, the CS for Agriculture, will be able to embrace the system. The system will help us in, first of all, knowing exactly how many farms we have in Uasin Gishu County, or rather in soy constituency, and in knowing exactly what acreage is under maize and any other crop, wheat, tomatoes, cabbages, avocado, coffee, whatever. That will also help us to be able to go in one shop and decide on what fertilizers we want to purchase, what chemicals we want to purchase. We'll be also able to be able to guide our farmers in terms of weather patterns, whether the rains are coming in on time in the year, whether they're going to be delayed. It will also help us in terms of marketing. Once we harvest, once we know exactly what is under what acreage, we'll be able to have a projected crop production, or rather we'll know what we might harvest that season, and we'll be able to start marketing so that we don't go through the challenges that we have gone through with the National Cereals and Produce Board, delay in payment of the farmers. We'll be also able to market our produce directly without relying on the National Cereals and Produce Board for our maize and wheat products. It will also help us knowing our dairy capacity, because we're going to register the number of acreage and the number of cattle that we have under dairy. That will also help us so that all in all, it's going to be a touch of a button, and we know exactly how our agricultural farmers are doing in soy constituency. This is a system that will help us because we know that majority of Kenyans are farmers, majority of my constituents are farmers, and we need to go and move with technology in order that we may be able to be food sufficient, to develop and strengthen the agenda of His Excellency the President and the Deputy President on the Jubilee agenda, whereby we need to be food secure. As we know, this area, my constituency, is actually 100% agricultural. Most of the areas are arable, and we want to enhance our farmers so that we go into profit-making farming and not go through challenges when we are marketing our produce.
Most farmers are old men in general and in your constituency. How will you take this to the youth?
Well, you can see the team that I have here is actually the youth who are doing the registration. And for those farmers who are elderly and may not have the Android phones, their sons and daughters may have Android phones, and we are going to find a way of registering them. Somehow we'll have to register them through their sons, or we're going house by house, because we're also taking the GPS coordinates so that we know exactly if we are to deliver fertilizer or chemicals to a farmer, we will not be asking for directions to their homes. We will just be following the GPS directions, and we'll deliver whatever it needs to be delivered at their doorstep.
This is one of the ways where we can be able to find out who are genuine farmers. And remember the last time we had issues.
True. It's just this is information through, and the registration is by biometric fingerprints. If then your fingerprints is not able to be identified, you can use your wife's, or if it's the wife's can't be identified, the husband will find a way. And this is information that we will share with the National Cereals and Produce Board and any other person who wants to purchase fertilizer or purchase our crops. And we will also share that information with any government agency that wants to know exactly who is a genuine farmer and who is not, so that we get out of this issue whereby we claim we have cartels and yet we didn't have them. So it will really help in moving forward with the agriculture sector.
Right.